Speaking today's cue card is describe a talk you gave to a group of people. You should say, when and to whom you gave the speech, what was the speech about, why you gave the speech, how did you feel about it? I can still remember when I was a sophomore in high school, I had to give a speech in front of my classmate. It was for a public speaking class and the assignment was to deliver a 5-minute speech on a topic of my choice. I remember it was nerve-wracking to say the least, but I was determined to do myself. I chose to speak about the recent changes to our school's dress code and why I thought it was important for students to take pride in their appearance. I was a bit of a rebel back then, so it was a bit ironic for me to be talking about something so establishment, but I was genuinely passionate about the topic. I spent a few long nights working on and preparing my speech, after which I practiced it in front of my family a few times, until I was able to learn it by heart. When the day finally arrived, I was an absolute bundle of nerves. I felt like my heart was in my throat and my palms were sweating buckets. All I could do was take a deep breath and dive in. To my surprise, I made it through the speech without any major blunders. I even managed to get a few laughs out of my classmate. The speech was well received, which made me feel like $1,000,000. In the end, the speech was a huge confidence booster for me, and it taught me the value of practice and preparation, as well as helping me to learn that public speaking isn't as daunting as it seems. It's funny how things work out sometimes. Idioms. The idiom, nerve-wracking, is used to describe an anxious or stressful situation. For example, my first job interview was really nerve-wracking. The phrase, the establishment, refers to the existing power structure, especially one that is resistant to change. For example, the new mayor was elected on a platform of challenging the establishment.
To learn by heart means to memorize something. For example, I learned my lines by heart for the audition. The idiom, a bundle of nerves, means to be extremely anxious or nervous. For example, she was a bundle of nerves before her speech, but she managed to pull it off.
My heart was in my throat is an idiom used to describe the feeling of extreme anxiety or fear. For example, when I had to give my speech in front of the class, my heart was in my throat. Sweating buckets is an idiom that means to be extremely nervous or anxious. For example, I was sweating buckets before my job interview.
The idiom, feel like $1,000,000, means to feel extremely good or confident. For example, after giving my speech, I felt like $1,000,000. A blunder is an error or mistake, usually made in an embarrassing or awkward situation. For example, it was a huge blunder when I accidentally told my boss that I didn't like my job. Daunting means to be intimidating or overwhelming. For example, public speaking can be quite daunting for someone who has never done it before.